living well. What does it mean to live well? Of course, we all have our own ideas of what living well is. In my time here at the ranch, being surrounded by nature, walking around this beautiful oak grove, makes me reflect on what living well is for me. Understanding your philosophy of life, your values, your family values, I believe is the way in which we can live a well life. In understanding that every decision we make should be made with those values in mind, understanding that our business, the business of healing people, is a satisfying way to give back to the people, to give back to the planet, and that financial success and success as a whole shouldn't be what drives us. Rather, our commitment to people, our commitment to life, our commitment to living well should be the driving force. I believe if we do that well, financial success will come. Other success, however you choose to define it, will come. But all guided by the principles that a human being has and should follow throughout his and her life. My next thought is where to live. If we want to live a well life, where do we live? Identify where to live becomes a very important question. Living on the outskirts of a big city, living in the city, but where community makes up the fabric of that well life, where the community, the parks around the community, nature near the community, all of that is important to identify and to plan. It's almost like a life plan where you figure out where you want to live, where you feel strong, where there's that group of people that embrace you, that community, that family, and then the inside of your home, what it looks like, what it feels like, what components of your home will help you live better. Natural materials, maybe it's a wooden floor, maybe it's a natural plaster, maybe it's air filtration and lighting, maybe you have a beautiful window that opens up to a park, or you have plants outside. But I think it's important to identify that. We are fortunate at home to have a little bit of that, and we understand that not every environment is the same. But I believe community, natural light, natural spaces, all of that needs to come together and join your philosophy of your life, join your values, so you can take the next step. So with these two thoughts, then what's left in my mind is how does it all come together for the well-being of the person and the well-being of the planet. And again, I believe that if we understand our philosophy and our values, I believe that if we find the right environment for us to live and thrive, then it all sort of comes together. Then happiness, health, the well-being of our family, of people, the well-being of the planet, then it all comes together. But I have to say that in order to do that, we do want to think hard into what kind of life do we want to lead. We do want to think hard about what our values are, what drives us, why do we wake up every morning, and what is it that we want out of it. And defining that and living it on a daily basis, I think brings it all together. I think brings, in my mind, at the end of the day, we can define well-being however we want to define it, but it is how we live it that will ultimately make the difference for ourselves, for our family, and for our community. And those are my thoughts. And just a few final words to thank all of the people out there in the world, in the different countries, in the different cities, in the different towns, for your support for Global Wellness Day. Happy Global Wellness Day from Rancho, Puerta, Tecate, Baja California, Roberto Arjona.